Hello and welcome to BitLab Academy daily live stream, coming to you every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 10:30 a.m. every day. I got a little bit of a double here, so there we go. Sorry about that. So again, welcome to BitLab Academy. My name is Kelly Kellum, and I'm so happy to have you all here. This very long time running here trying to get this all set up. In addition to running these daily live streams, I'm also, of course, completely rebuilding BitLab Academy from the ground up, along with the entire Hit Network and BitBoy crew, as well as some other really incredible smart people within the space, from everything from technical analysis to trading options, trading strategies, on-chain data analysis. Everything is coming to BitLab Academy with over, I think, 25 new courses, 200 new lessons all coming very soon. We've been working on it basically since August when I came on the team. I'm very excited about that. Now, in today's stream, what we're going to be doing is going over Tradingview and really how to chart like a boss, whether or not you've already been using it for months or years. Everybody that I've talked to about this, even other pro traders, I've shared some of these tips and tricks that I've been integrating into my sort of strategy and my functionality within the charts. And over 90% of them weren't even aware of half of these things. So before we get started and dive in, make sure that you go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down below, especially if you want to chat here. We want to really make sure that we're building a community here. We welcome anybody that's just passing by as well, but it really helps build the community if more people are invested in, not in the market, no, but invested in their education. And that's what we're doing here. We want to make sure that people can bridge that gap from beginner to pro. Even if you're already a pro in some aspects, I guarantee you there's areas that you can work on. There's areas that you can master. There's things that you can learn. And even if that's not the case, send the elevator back down, be a part of these communities, engage with the chat, engage with everybody here, answer questions, ask questions. And I want to make it a point here again, as we're starting this channel, doing daily streams here at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, here on the BitLab YouTube. I want to make sure that we are fostering and supporting and encouraging a community all about empowerment and positivity. And so if somebody comes in here, we got quite a few of the people that are here in my squad: Alex Green, Mitch Shaw, Matt C, I think Elo Brown. I'm not sure if he's in here right now, but we got quite a few people in here that are already set up as moderators who've been a part of my sort of community, and I've been a part of their community over the last year or more. And so what I want to encourage everybody, if you're already a moderator, or if you become a moderator, this isn't about censoring people or shutting people down or any of that. We really want to give it a chance for people to have a voice of positivity. And if somebody is acting up and somebody is misbehaving, let's try to redirect them with the response rather than a reaction. Let's try to help foster and encourage people to engage in a meaningful way with constructive criticism. If you have a critique about this stream, if you have a critique about me, I welcome it, but offer it with a sense of here's what I'm seeing, here's how I think could benefit, here's how the community could benefit. If you don't like my voice, fine. If you don't like, I can't help that. If you don't like the charts or the visuals, these are all sort of personal choices, and that's okay. The whole point of this stream daily is to bring you content to help you understand all the ins and outs of the market, the ins and outs of the tools, the functionality of all these different things, and how to tie all these things together so that you can you can really formulate and construct a strategy that works best for you. Now, before we really dive in and get started on everything here, I want to make sure, again, I want to let you know, my name's Kelly Kellum, and I'm going to go through all the different socials here. And as you can see on the bottom of the stream, you can see the Twitter @ symbol, the YouTube @ symbol, and the Instagram. Make sure, there's so many different scammers in the space. There's impersonators. So don't just take it at first look where you see it's got the correct avatar, what looks like the correct name. Really go ahead and make sure that you're following the correct people so that you don't fall into the trap that so many people within this space do. Okay, and I don't even need this, so I'm going to take out that headphone. So I want to make sure that everybody is on that same kick. So before we dive into that, let's go ahead and go straight to this screen right here, and we're going to make sure that you're following the correct Twitter, which is this right here. It's yes, BitLab Academy, but the @ symbol is @Academy BitLab. It's not @Academy_BitLab. It's not Academy BitLab _ not. All of these, you want to make sure from the get-go you have the correct stuff. And I'll be sure, we're right now at about 1,200 followers. We just started really getting engaged with this Twitter about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. So we're growing quite nicely. Of course, we've got wonderful support from BitBoy himself, as well as TJ, Hit Network, and the entire staff there. And I hope you all can join this community well. Follow us here on Twitter. And then, of course, I want to make sure that you're following my correct profile because, you know, as anybody becomes a voice in this space, whether or not they intend it or not, there's these bad actors out there. And I mean, you don't understand how many people I've found within the space already have tried to impersonate me. Even after my first stream via the Crypto Jeb channel over a year ago, the next day there was about 7 different profiles that were copying me, and that's when I only had 6 followers, okay? And I've got, you know, pushing up near 20,000 now, so there's a lot of scammers out there, and you might see there's names that look almost just like mine, but so you want to make sure you're following Kelly, Kellam. It's not 3 L's, there's not a 1, there's not underscore. This is my Twitter, and I typically do, along with Crypto Vet and Pennyfly Entertainment, I do a podcast most Thursdays. Today, we're not going to be doing it. We're going to be rescheduling it for later this week. But definitely give me a follow here. I share a lot of great content. As well as the BitLab Academy. Now, of course, we've also got the Instagram, which you can follow at Academy BitLab as well. And we just started engaging with this, so we're hoping to really start put a lot more stuff out, some shorts, a lot of clips, charts, all these sorts of things. So engage with this correct one here on Instagram. And of course, make sure that you go and visit bitlabacademy.com, where we have so many courses already in there, but we have so much coming, so much more coming to BitLab Academy here. I mean, in the matter of days, week and a half, 2 weeks at most, we really are going to start rolling out. And it's not like everything's just going to be thrown on there. We're going to be rolling out and filming stuff for over the next year. So there's going to be new courses coming very regularly throughout the months. We're going to have all kinds of different courses, and they're not going to be 20, 30-minute courses. These are going to be broken down into 5 to 8 minute, most of them 5 to 8 minute, very focused lesson topics. And then the more advanced trading strategies that tie all these things together will be, those will be a little bit longer, maybe, 12 to 20 minutes, because they're going to be a lot more in depth and breaking down everything from whether it be pattern trading strategies, indicator trading strategies, advanced fib trading strategies that tie in other criteria as well. So really come over here, check out BitLab Academy. We've not only got the courses, we also have the indicators. But before we dive into that, make sure you sign up for this newsletter. Actually, we'll have a newsletter going out today, and that's going to be breaking down things that are going on within BitLab Academy, as well as signals, stuff going on with the indicators, some training, all kind of different stuff in there, as well as early access to updates that are coming to BitLab Academy. And of course, we've got 5 winners that we're giving lifetime membership to the BitLab Academy courses, which these will be being announced when I'm back in Atlanta in studio there with the BitBoy crew and Hit Network the week of January 23rd. So all that being said, now, I do want to just point out we do have the courses, but we also have these indicators that we did launch. And I went over this a bit yesterday, but this is obviously in conjunction with Frankie Candles. And I sat with an incredible coder, trader, TA analyst, a hedge fund, money manager, trading hundreds of millions of dollars a day. We reverse engineered the strategies that they were doing, as well as what we look for as professional traders, and how we can signal that to give the best, most comprehensive, most accurate look at what's going on in the charts. And you can find all that information here at BitLab Academy /indicators. Now, one of the other things you get when you're a part of BitLab Academy, and there's also a free area as well in here, but when you're actually a member of the indicators or the courses, we have, of course, the BitLab Discord, which I think there's around, there's 30,000 people in here, very active community. We've got everything from tutorials, guides, TA discussion. We have a whole section just for the indicators where we break down, we have training content showing how to break down all kind of different stuff, reading different setups on the charts with these indicators, strategies, settings, all kind of stuff, as well as a VIP chat, signals. There's so much here in the BitLab Discord. So with all that being said, I just want to say welcome everybody to BitLab YouTube daily stream. So happy to have you here. And again, these all will be recorded. They'll be able to be watched at any point. And one of the things that I'm focusing on here, because there's so many other crypto and trading and investing YouTube channels that are out there that they're more focused on exactly what the price action is happening today, and you do learn through those channels, and they're all, that's sort of how I came up, in my training. Around 2017, 2018, really, when a lot of these YouTubers were out. But when I came in the game, I came in 2016, and I wasn't aware of one channel. So I had to dig in and figure out all these things myself and find sites like Bukowski's chart patterns and, researching through Google, like TA and analysis, and figure out what tools they're using, seeing charts on the screen. When you go to somebody's YouTube stream for the first time on your first day in the space and you see somebody's chart, this is a foreign language. And so my whole point with this channel, with these streams, and what we want to do with BitLab is we want to make these as evergreen as possible. So whether or not you're looking at this today, right after the CPI read, or the chart just moved up or just dropped massively, all these videos are meant to be able to be viewed at any point, at any stage, with where you're at in your journey, and also with whatever's going on in price action. Now, what I am going to do is I am going to use the daily context of what's happening on the charts, but then I'm going to break down exactly the how, the what, the why, the when, and then also several more whats, okay? So you can understand if I'm talking about TA and I'm talking about support and resistance, it's not gonna be like you're over there Googling exactly what all this stuff is. Now, in every video, in every lesson, in every stream, I'm not gonna have the ability to truly go in and break down every single verbiage and, basically be a crypto wiki on every lesson. But the point of these streams are going to be they're gonna build on each other. They're gonna be building in to essentially free coursework, free resources for you to refer to at any time. So you're not wondering, okay, well, he talked about this the day after the FOMC meeting. Is this gonna be relevant now? Or he talked about this when the price was going up. Is this going to be relevant now when the price is going down? Absolutely, yes, it will. And that's what we're doing here. And so into this video, as I said, we're going to be breaking down Tradingview. And so for any of you that, if you do not know this, whether you're watching this live or at a later date, Tradingview is a software that you can use. It's a website, it's a service that you can find at tradingview.com, and it allows you to chart price action. Now, what is price action? Well, to break it down to the most sort of simple way, price action is what's happening with the price on the charts. And we're going to go straight to the screen here. What's happening to the price on the charts? And we can see here, this is mapped out. I'm going to turn off everything. So we're just looking at these candlesticks. Now, breaking it down, again, what are candlesticks? Candlesticks are these individual candles, and each one signifies the time frame that we're on. In this case, this is a 3-day time frame. Each candle, each one of these bars is representing what's happening. This is a 3 days, this is 3 days, this is 3 days. Now, if I go down to the daily, this is a one day, and so on and so forth. I go down to the 1 hour, each one of these is a single candle. Now, what you need to make sure you take note of anytime you pull up price action on Tradingview, which is this window right here, this software platform that you get through this service, Tradingview. When you pull up any chart, or even if you're looking on Twitter and you see people's charts that they've shared, you always want to take note of everything that you're seeing on the chart. This is the same for if you're looking at on-chain data or any graph of any kind whatsoever, any data representation. When you're pulling it up, no matter how many times you've done it, take a moment and look at the data that's available to you on this chart. Now, in this case, we see all kind of different stuff across the top. We see it on the side. We see tools on the left-hand bar. It looks like this is time frames. Okay, great. Now, and I want to pause you just for one moment. Now, don't worry. This is I'm starting this very basic because we have to always make sure that we're sending the elevator back down to the beginners. But I have so much more advanced pro stuff that I'm going to do. And I'm going to, again, if you're the very beginner or you're a pro, this is going to take you through every step of that. So definitely stick around because I'm going to be breaking down some incredible ways to lay out these charts so you can get these custom time frames. You can have these custom templates. You can have different chart setups. And I'm going to break these down all the way through. So I just want to make sure everybody's just pausing here and making sure that that you're being patient so we can, you know, establish the basics so we can build that good foundation to work on. Now, again, what did I say? We pulled up a chart. You know, somebody sent us a link, says our first day looking at stuff, or you're looking at a chart somebody posted on Twitter. What is the data available? Well, we can see up here in the top left corner, we see Bitcoin US dollar. Okay, this means we're looking at the Bitcoin asset. This is the asset, and it's being charted against the value of the US dollar. Now, this right below it, right above it, I mean, you can also see BTC USD. So this is where, this is where I was actually clicking on my OBS screen. Kind of funny. This is where you can see right here up in the top left, you can select what asset you want to look at. Now, this is not just crypto. You can come in here, do stocks, futures, whatever. So I can come in here and do, I can do the US 100. I'm gonna go all. So I can do US 100. I can do the Dixie, which is a dollar index. Okay, I can do the DJI, which is a Dow Jones index. Okay, you can select whatever you want. Now, in this case, we're looking at Bitcoin, and we're just going to leave it here. Now, we've looked at all the data that's available to us, and one of the things that used to frustrate me is I'd watch other people's streams, and I get so frustrated because I'd see all kind of stuff that they had on their Tradingview that I could not figure out how they set it up because mine looks so different. So let's talk about that real quick for a second. Let's look at what's happening on this chart and let's figure out how we can set it up to best serve you. All right. So this is how I have mine set up. I have the multiple time frames that I use most often. That's what these are up here on the top. Most people, when you start, is it just shows one time frame. And I could not figure out how to do that. So I finally looked into it. This is several years ago. And it took, excuse me, I've talked to so many pro traders and they didn't, you know, a lot of people don't know you can do this. Now you can see, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to turn off all these stars. Turn off all these stars. These stars are everything for customization in Tradingview. And these stars are essentially the way that you can select what your favorites are to pre-select them to put them up on top. Now, most people's Tradingview looks something like this when you first start your Tradingview, okay? Why does it still have 7? Okay, because it's on 7. So most people's Tradingview looks just like this, where you have one time frame right here. So how do you change this time frame? Well, you select it, and then you come over here, and on the right, when this window comes up, you see all these different time frames. Yours might be collapsed. And that's what these arrows are. And these collapsing, you can expand these collapsed areas, and you can select which ones you want to populate at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and populate the yearly, which is 12 months. I'm going to populate the 1 month. I'm going to populate the 1 week, the 3 day, and you all can do however you prefer. I do the 1 day, the 12 hour, the 8 hour, the 4 hour, the 2 hour, 1 hour. And I'm going to do the 30-minute, 24, 15, and 3-minute. So now you can see right here, I've got all these. I can just select, go very quickly through these different time frames. So without having to click and be, okay, well, now I want to go to this. No, this is so much easier because you can immediately go right between your time frames. And if you want to change it, you just come right to this little down arrow. You can add an additional one. You can select one without adding it. If I just want to go the 1 minute, I can select it and it's not added at the top. Now, something else that you can do is if you're on the 4 hour, for instance, and you want to go straight to the 1 hour, you can also on your keyboard, just press 1H, boom, 1 hour, you're there. You can also go to the 1 minute. Now, here's the thing. If you just do one, don't do 1M because 1M will be 1 month. And you might have to experiment with this a bit. So 1 minute, boom, right to the 1 minute. If I want to go to the 4, if you just press a number without putting a letter, it's going to initially, the default is going to be the minute. So in this case, I press 4, and you can see right below that, there is a minute, it says 4 minutes. Now, if I do M, that's gonna be 4 months. If I do H, that's gonna be 4 hours. So this is a very easy way. If you don't wanna be moving your mouse back and forth, you can literally just type in the time frame and it'll immediately snap to that time frame. Now, if I wanna do 4 weeks, I just do 4W. So this is very, very easy way to navigate the charts. Now I'm gonna come back to the daily here. Now, the next thing we can do, we can see right here, we have these different types of candles. Now, what did I say candles were? Candles are a representation of where the price action, where the price value went up or down within the allotted time that you have selected. So in this case, we're on the daily. So this candlestick is just a traditional candlestick representing where it opened. Right now it still hadn't closed. So wherever this block, in this case, this opened here and it closed here. And these wicks, these shadows above and below the candle body, these small sticks, these represent how far the price action did go within this block. But in this case, it went up to here and then came back and closed here. So you can see the entire distance that the price action traveled on this chart within that allotted time that you have selected on this chart. And this is good information because, and I'm not gonna go into it in this video, this is gonna be a later video, and it's also broken down very detailed in BitLab Academy and the courses, but you can start using the size of these candlesticks and what's happening with these wicks versus the body of the candle, this larger block area. You can start gauging and understanding what's happening on the chart with momentum, what's happening with the speculative value of the asset. Because make no mistake, and I want to point this out real quick before we go any further, make no mistake, price representation on a chart isn't the dead set exact full intrinsic value of that asset. A lot of people get misunderstood when they see the price action of an asset. They're looking at these charts on Tradingview or whatever charting software you may be using, and they're seeing price action dropping, or they see price action going up and they think the value of that asset's going up. You have to understand there's a difference between the fundamental and intrinsic value of an asset and the speculative value of that asset. The Tradingview charts that we're looking at, the chart software that you're looking at mapping this price action, you're mapping the speculative, the price action of the speculative value of that asset. Because if you think about it, over 2022, right now it is January 12th, 2023. Over the entirety of 2022, we saw price action falling the entire year. Does that mean the value of Bitcoin went down the entire year? No, because when you look at the fundamentals, when you look at the data, and that's what this channel is about, is understanding how to tackle all this data and formulate a plan. When you look at the speculative value, price dropped the entire year. When you look at the fundamental data, the fundamental value, the on-chain data, you see a growth in long-term holders. You see a growth in how much US dollar transaction over Bitcoin it was astronomically higher than the years prior. Explosive growth in 2022, explosive fundamental growth of the asset class of Bitcoin over 2022, while the speculative value dropped. So what does this tell you? How are we using Tradingview and price action to determine where we can find an entry and how and why we would find an entry? Now, any of these phrases that I'm covering or I'm saying that you may not understand, don't worry, all these are going to be covered in detail in future videos here on the channel, and also they're all covered in detail on BitLab Academy. And we're also, I forgot to mention this last stream, the first stream, one of the things, many of these people that are the moderators here in chat, along with some other people on our team, that we're doing is we're building and investing in a crypto wiki, so that at any step of the way, you can have it open when you're watching our stream, when you're watching anybody's stream, or if you're just, navigating the market and you come across a word you don't understand that has to do with investing, trading, indicators, technical analysis, divergences, candle, whatever it is. So you could quickly reference it and understand what these things are, so you don't get stopped at the mere understanding of a word, because I believe me, I know it is a foreign language when you're getting started. So back to what I was saying in terms of the intrinsic value, what we're looking at with Tradingview, what we're looking at when we pull up these charts, we're looking at the mapping of the we're looking at the mapping of the speculative value, because people are trading right here. People are trading right here, they're seeing this massive upper wick right here, and all this will be taught over a number of different videos within BitLab Academy and here on the stream. But this massive wick shows the price tried to push up. The bulls, the people that were really bullish on the price, were really trying to push the price up. But the bears, the people that say no, we want the price to go down. The bears said no, we're going to win this battle. And you can see this. The price opened right here. On this candle, we can see the price opened. I'm going to turn it off auto. The price opened right here where this candle opened and pushed up this entire way. And then the bears battled it all the way back down. It's like an army. Each candlestick is an army between the bulls and the bears. And more than any other indicator on the market, more than anything, the best tool that you will be able to use is understanding what's happening on the movement and this speculative value, this price action, how these candlesticks right here all of a sudden grow. This is bullish engulfing. And again, we're going to be going over all of this in detail. This is swallowing this, how big this is. And look at this. This is an increase in momentum. And then here, massive decrease in momentum. And then here, massive increase in momentum for the bears, and then further increase in momentum for this. So all this, we're understanding through looking at Tradingview. And so it's critical that you understand how to navigate this. So we're going to continue on this. I just want to make sure all this, everybody, no matter where you're at in your journey, you really realize how important understanding the mapping of price is, especially what asset class you're weighing it against. It really can give you so much information on how to navigate this market and how to navigate what you're doing with your portfolio. So now I got on this whole kick because I got sidetracked because we were talking about the candles. And as we're talking about all these time frames, which we customize, and you can customize it however you want to on your charts with whatever time frames work best for you. But then right here, we can see these different candles. Now, most people might just look just like this. And this is just a traditional candles. Now, interesting fact, candles came from sometime in the, I think the 1800s, if I'm not mistaken, with Japanese rice farmers. They're trying to map the price and keep track of the movement of price action and what those, when they're selling their rice on the market, the value of the rice going up and down and tracking it over periods of time. That is where TA came from. That's where these candles came from. And similarly, back then, they didn't have multiple different color options. So that's why they have black and white. That's why when you look at other TA things like 3 black crows or 3 white soldiers, the reason those are not, it's not green or red is because this comes back from historic traditional TA, back when they were, also, printing stuff on newspaper in the 20s and the 30s, and people were really developing strategies. It comes back. This is all rooted in, 150 plus years of a tradition, okay? And it's just grown and advanced and become more complex over time. And so that's why we're here with you, helping break all this down for you. So we have these different candle strategies that we can also do as well. So in this case, we have these candles on the chart. If we select this, click on it, we can have all these different options. Now, there's different, we could see the different way that these are set up, and you can pick how you want yours, which ones you're most comfortable with. And we're going to be doing videos and lessons on each one of these different these candle strategies, because they signify different weighting and different signals on the chart. Because, for instance, if we're looking at these candles right here, which are just traditional candles, but if we come over here to Heikin-Ashi candles, we can see that, for instance, this last candle, let's just look at this last candle. This has a much larger green body than if we come over here to this. Well, why is this? We're going to go over all this in detail. Essentially, in this case, has to do with it calculates more of where the volume was traded, had the highest, where there is higher volume traded across the price action of this specific candle. So it gives you more weighted information about what's going on with the chart, as well as it's very particular about showing. You see this red trend, green trend, red trend, and let's look at these last two: red trend, green trend, meaning bearish, bullish. Now let's look at how that looks on traditional candles. Now this is broken up, and this is because this holds the trend until that trend is broken, in terms of where the volume and action of this trend was in all these candlesticks was supported in that move. And so until the trend is actually broken trend, where most of the volume is also trading above that the previous trend, it stays consistent within that trend. Now, a lot of professional traders really like using these. These are called Heikin-Ashi candles, and I would recommend to start with these. Get comfortable with these traditional candles. Just get comfortable with the charts, and then move into the Heikin-Ashi. But this is just some tidbits along the way, and we're going to be going over all this in more detail. But again, we can set up right here with these stars which ones you want to use. I would really recommend that you don't use a line chart for technical analysis or understanding what you're doing navigating the markets. It is a useful tool, but much more so on a macro sense than it is on a smaller time frame. Macro meaning larger time frame, multiple weeks, months, years. So let's go ahead and stick with these traditional candles for now. And again, we can set up, for me, I typically have the Heikin-Ashi and traditional candles set up here. So I have them easy access, goes right between them right here, also between the time frames. Now, the next thing we can do, as we can see right here, we have the indicators. And what are indicators? Well, indicators are all the things that sound like gibberish, especially when you're sitting with people, sitting on a stream, and somebody's talking about, man, the RSI divergence and the MACD and the VWAP. It sounds like people are talking in hieroglyphic acronyms, because that's essentially what it is. It's short talk. So we don't have to say, we're talking about the moving average convergence divergence today, which is the MACD. We're talking about the volume weighted average price. No, we shorten these things to make it quick. And all these things are indicators. And what indicators are, and this is one of the beautiful things about these charting software like Tradingview, is they allow you to aggregate and pull data from a number of other sources that you can pull individually and weigh, but it aggregates that data and then gives you either an oscillator, which is values bouncing between two defined terms, or it gives you just moving averages. For instance, the MACD, and we can just go ahead and pull that up on the chart. The MACD, I'm going to come here, select the indicator. Now in the search area, I could type MACD, if I can spell, and then we can see we have a number of different things. We're going to go and pull this top one. I already have it favorited, but you can go down and you can select. There's all kind of different ones. So you might have to yourself figure out which one you like, but also you can look at different YouTubers or other traders or research and figure out which ones might be the best to use for a strategy. But the name of the game early on is experimenting. In this case, I just used this full on moving average convergence divergence, which is the MACD. And then what happens is, let me go ahead and remove. I'm going to remove all indicators. So if you saw that, if anybody ever wants to do that, you can right click on the chart and you can come down. You can do all these things right there. But I'm going to come back. I'm going to do MACD. We're going to pull up MACD. And as I was explaining, this is an indicator that now you can add to your strategy in addition to just looking at the candles. Now, what was I saying? These indicators, different indicators do different stuff. In this case, this indicator is aggregating the moving average, meaning how much the price is moving over, in this case on MACD, it's usually 913. This one's, RSI typically is 930. This is 12 and 26. Well, what does this mean? Well, one line is a 12, meaning how fast the average price is moving over 12 bar periods. And then the red line moving slower is over a period of 26. So what we're doing is we're looking at moving averages moving in certain directions, so we can really calculate on a more aggregated, more distilled sort of data informative space to understand how price and momentum is moving. So, and I'm not going to break down how to utilize this indicator, because we're going to have all sorts of different courses on all these different indicators as well. The point here is you could come up here and select your different indicators, and there's so many indicators in here, but you can come in here, RSI is another one, and you can come here, and again, when you find stuff you like, these stars, you might not see on yours, but see how it's dark? If you put your mouse over to the left, you have all these different stars. You can put stars on different ones, experiment with different ones, get comfortable, but master some of these indicators so that you can really understand what's going on. So in this case, I also recommend putting a star on RSI. It's a great beginner and very useful tool. So we can do that. And as we see, it adds another one here on the bottom. Now, what if I don't like this look, or I want this on top? On this right side right here, we can, there's an arrow up, arrow down, and we can move that up there. We can move this up here. We can have it split however you want. The goal is, sure, fake it till you make it. Copy other traders to start. That's how most people start, copying chart setups. But then figure out what works best for your flow. And also, there's different opportunities based on whether or not you have a basic account or a pro account or a pro plus. You might not be able to have, for instance, and I'm going to go over these in a second, but like, for instance, right here, I have all these different indicators. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 indicators up. If you have a very basic account that's not paid, it's just a free account, you might not be able to do this. However, what you can do is you can go and create 2 different charts and have, 2 indicators on one, on the same asset, and 2 other indicators on the other one. So you end up basically hacking, not having to pay for the service. Now, as you move along and you become, more actively trading, more actively using Tradingview, then you're going to want to consolidate some of this stuff and, get the basic lower level paid membership. And then you start having the opportunity to do, I don't know what they all are, but the minimum of 3 or maximum of 3, which then, you can sort of move along here. And as you build your strategy and as you build your skill set, then you can also start upping the paid services you're using. You don't need to buy every single thing in the game when you first start. Get used to using the basics. Get used to using stuff like, for instance, MACD, like I said. Get used to using RSI, okay? Get used to using stochastics. A lot of people want to use stochastic RSI, and I used to as well, but just general stochastic is actually much better because it's not, it doesn't get muddy. I'm not going to go into it all right now, but use 3 different indicators to sort of give yourself the ability to have indicators that line up with confluence, meaning indicators are agreeing with a certain, for instance, a certain signal. In this case right here, see, and I can expand this. So now I can really change the dynamic of what I'm looking at. If I have one that can be squashed, whatever. In this case, this blue cross right here, and we could tell because this histogram, which are these bars across the middle, flipped green. Now, what's going on the RSI? Well, we see this basically found resistance around the 50 line, and I'm going to go into all this in a lot more detail, but I'm just giving you an example of confluence. This flipped green, which is bullish. This found resistance at the 50 line, meaning it butted its head up against it, but then flipped it, found support. Now this is a 1 signal. This is your secondary signal. This is a confluence. Now we're looking at stochastics. We're nowhere near overheated, meaning this already crossed bullish. So this actually was a leading signal. So this led these two signals. So this would have been your one. This would have been your two, as this found support on this moving average trend line, this yellow trend line, and then this would have been your three. So this would have been a three. My nose is itching. This would have been a three-step confluence. Signifying a high likelihood, I won't say a trade, but a high likelihood price action was going to move bullish, because we have three indicators suggesting that. And we can also see within the candles themselves, this is rounding right here. And now we're starting to get a little bit of increased momentum. And so all these things align. So we're using the various tools and indicators and looking at the price action, how it's moving. And we're trying to find agreements or disagreements on this chart so that we can make sure that we're making highly probable moves. That's the whole point. The whole point of using Tradingview and charting and really trying to using different indicators is to find higher likelihood scenarios that the price action is going to move in a particular direction because of data that is showing, underlying data that is showing that there is momentum, buying volume, buying pressure coming into the market if you're looking for a bullish move, meaning pricing going up, or you're seeing a waning or decreasing of momentum, a reduction of volume, a reduction of participants in the space, reduction of stuff in order books. You're using all this technical data within charts, looking at the movement of the speculative value, the price action, so that you can make as high probable moves as possible. And that's what we call an edge in trading. Using data and using a variety of data and using some data that other people may not have access to, or you're looking at it on a deeper level so that you can forecast a move and then jump into that move, meaning catch the bullish breakout before it happens or right when it happens, or catch the bearish breakdown before it happens, or right, before you see a giant green candle. For instance, let's go ahead on right here. This is a perfect example. Now, little trick here. We have all these different indicators on the screen. I want to go directly to my chart. Do I need to minimize these? Do I need to delete them? No, double click on your chart. Boom, immediately you have, blows up the chart. You want to bring it back? Double click. Now you have all your views again. You want to bring this RSI, this indicator here. You want to bring it bigger because it's squashed. You want to look just at the RSI, double click. You have just the RSI. Very quick hack there to navigate between your indicator. Now, another thing with the double click, I'm sorry for the tangent here, but this is important. Another thing for the double click, you can select single click on an indicator and then double click it, bring up the settings immediately. Similarly, let's go back to, I'm going to come over here to all these indicators that I have. This is a BitLab trading stack, which you can find at bitlabacademy.com/indicators, which is these right here. This, I can say I want to change the setting. I can select it first and then double click. That's pulling up the candles. Now, how do I pull up the thing? Well, that was because I was selecting candles. Now, this is part of the indicator. So now you see it's selected with the dots. Now double click, and now it pulls up all the indicator settings that I can go through and adjust. Now, coming back here, I'm going to press this back arrow right here, undo. It took me back to my settings I had previously with all these indicators. Now, what I was saying was we're looking for those statistical probabilities. This is what technical analysis and analytics is within the crypto investing, stocks, trading. What you're trying to do is forecast a move so you can take the most advantage of that move, whether it be to the upside with a long or to the downside with a short, or just exiting so you don't take losses. So in this case, we're looking for to get out of this move before this giant candle. Okay, so you don't take this this huge loss. Now, how do you very quickly see how much loss this is? Well, we can see all the way over here on the right hand side. I can see that I have these cursors that are coming out to the right, illuminating exactly what the price is. So I can just put my mouse here, and it shows me all the way on the right that that's 21,000. This comes all the way to the bottom of this wick, all the way down to 15,000. Now, what's the measured move on this? Meaning, what's the percentage of loss on this move? Well, the percentage of loss on this move, we can come over here to this measurement tool. We can see measure and click that and come here and come all the way down, measure. Now I'm going to move this because this red box is in the way to see exactly where we're at. So I'm just going to move this over so I can see where that lines up perfectly. But you know, there's a quick hack to this. You can also press the shift button on your keyboard and then select this and same thing. You get the immediate measured move right there. You can also measure, press shift and measure the distance to the right. So if you're trying to measure the time period, you can use that. Now, because we're talking about technical analysis right now, I'm going to hold off on that and do all the quick keys at the end, because that was just one quick key with the shift button. You're trying to do a measurement. That way you don't have to come over here each time to measure that. Now I want to continue with this layout, with the layouts here, so we can set up a custom layout. Now I'm going to remove all, indicators. Now we're going to set up we're going to set up the standard layout that I was talking about. And you can do this with multiple layouts with different indicator layouts, so you can move between them and not have to go in here every time and add them. Now, we're going to be running through this somewhat quickly, but don't worry, we do go over this a lot more detail in BitLab Academy. We have new courses coming out on this, but we got about 15-20 minutes left. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do MACD. So we're just pulling up these, and I'm going to come just to my favorites because I already have a bunch set up. I'm going to do 4MA, which is 4 moving average, 4 different moving averages. Let's go ahead and do Bollinger Bands. Let's do Chaikin Money Flow. Okay. Now, let's say I love that. This isn't necessarily a setup I would do specifically because I would have some other indicators, but let's say we like this this setup. Let's actually add RSI too, because that's that's always a staple in just basic TA analysis. It's good information to have. So we have these. I'm going to move the Chaikin Money Flow down. Let's say I want to have this a little bit smaller. I'm going to move this. Now I have all this information. Now, how do I save this so I can immediately go back to it? Now, right here where the indicators are, come just to the right of that. Actually, I take that back. Come right here to indicator templates, which is the 4 squares. Select that. And now you press save this template. So I'm going to do save template. Now I'm going to do, let's see. I would do a letter, but I have too many letters there. So let's just do, I'm going to do 5 since I don't have that letter up there. So I have 5, save. Now that's going to be in the templates, but I want to have it here so I can easily navigate it. Select this, come down to 5. What do? We press the star because you're a star, baby. So we come here. Now we have 5. Now I want to go back to my BitLab indicators and see the BitLab trading suite. Now let's see what's going on here. So I have everything already preset up. Now you can see with mine, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. The reason mine is set up this way is because if you notice, this is the whole BitLab trading suite. So is 3, so is 2, so is 1. But what do you notice is the difference between these? You can notice here on the BitLab Market Intelligence, this is very active. So I have this for my very active trades, especially if I'm down on let's go to the 1 hour. So I'm on the 1 hour, it takes a second to load. Now I have, I can say I'm scalp trading. I'm trying to do quick day trades. I have it set on 1, which for instance, in this case is very quick look backs and pivots and also basically I get a lot more signals, which are these bullish divergences and bearish divergences, bearish divergence, bullish divergence. But now say I want more broad strokes. I just want a general outlook. I can come to 4. Each one of these gets progressively more simple. So see this, even right here, I'm going to put this, I don't want to do that. So just because it's too colorful. Let's look right here to right here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 signals. Now, if I look at this on the 1, there we go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a lot more signals. So I can move between my more aggressive settings with the same indicator pack just by saving a new template. and then go more conservatively when I'm looking at broader views, or if I'm on stream and I'm trying to clean up the noise on my chart. Now I can also come over here. Now I want to go back to the standard setup. I have that right here immediately. Just remember, when you get your all the things set up here on the screens, you want to make sure that you are when you save your template, that after you save it, you come in here and put the star, and you can have them here very easily accessible at the top of your Tradingview screen, so you can move between them. Now we can navigate between the time frames, your different candles. You have you can have your indicators set in favorites here when you put your stars behind them, but then you can also come over here and have your different templates with different setups for your screen and views and organizations. Now, next step we can do, again, you always have the back setting right here, but we can also save different charts. If you want to see something crazy, check this out. I can come, so I have when you look at this entire layout, I have this chart zoomed in, but you can also come over here to the very bottom right corner of this chart, select that, and you can have multiple screen setups, which is this window right here. Yours might be looking like this. You can select the square, and you can select, it also kind of depends on what level of membership you have for Tradingview, but you can come through here and you can set up two things side by side. This is something I was talking about if you wanted to split multiple indicators because you don't have the Hyper Pro thing, and you can have the same chart on both time frames. Now I'm going to come here on the right, and you see this sort of hamburger menu all the way on the right. And you can come in here and you set up multiple different lists. So you could, different charts that you can have easily accessible. So you don't have to go to the top left to select everything that you want and type it in. Come here, press plus on this area right here. Now you're going to want to make sure that when you press plus, you create a list, and then you can add. Let's say I don't like Shiba. It's not my bag, but I can add it. Sheeb. Now I can pick which one I want to add, and I come over here on the right, add it. Now what happens is it comes down to the bottom, and I can drag and move these around. That way, say I'm right here, I'm looking at Ethereum. I can come here, look at Shiba immediately, and then I can look at AMP. I can have Bitcoin side by side, so I can look at them with two different indicator setups. This is magic. So yeah, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to come back to ETH. Now, the other thing is you can save entire chart setups, which is right here. You can save this chart. Now you can set up a whole different view, and then you can save that chart. And I have several different layouts. So I have my traditional, I'm going to leave that because I don't need that saved. This is my traditional market setup. Now, I don't need the indicators. I don't know why they're on there. But I look at the US dollar index, which is the DXY. I look at the US 100, which is a great sort of index of the top 100 stocks, and the S&P 500, then Dow Jones index. And I can look at these and compare and contrast immediately. And I can set this up like this. I can set it up in quads, which is, where's the quad? Like this. You could set it up in however you want. And then once you do that, I'm going to put it back how it was, but right now you come here, you can just save this. Now, you can also come here, and when it's a new layout, press save layout. And then once you save it, you can't see because of where my screen is, but on the right, there are stars where you can set that up. Now, that is how you can do your various layouts. Now, for the magic, for the money shot, for everything to make it really easy to navigate everything within Tradingview. And again, everybody, thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for tuning into the stream. If you haven't yet, definitely please like, subscribe, ting the little bell down at the bottom. We're going to be coming to you every day, 10:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. And I'm trying to be doing several other streams throughout the week at other times so I can get as many lessons in here and as many engagements as we can here in the stream. Now, we're going to do some basic TA, really quick keys. Now I'm going to come back here to here. Now I'm going to, boom. No, I don't want to do pivot. I'm going to go to BTC ETH. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to a chart that I don't have anything drawn on. Okay. Now what am I going to do? Double click on this chart. Now I want to go to the 4-hour time frame. So I come up to the top where I already have it set up. Boom, I got that. Now double click on the chart. I forgot to tell you this quick key. That's why the double click goes in and out of between the indicators and the charting view. But if you, I'm not sure what it is on PC. I think it might be Alt. It's either Alt or Control. You'll have to experiment at home. Select that and then click on your screen, and it brings you to full screen and out of full screen. So if you hold that button on Mac, it is Option. You select that and then click on the screen. It brings you full screen. Now, I'm going to remove all the indicators because what we're doing right now is quick keys for TA. And this is going to save you so much time from going through all these different tools here. Now, what are some of these critical tools? Well, we have the trend line. We have the Fibonacci. Okay. We have the paintbrush. We have text. We have so many different things that give people those beautiful charts. So if you're doing this on a daily basis and you're trying to do this quickly and not navigate back and forth to make this happen, here are some of the magic quick keys. Well, the first one is the Option button and H. So, and again, we're going to be going over all these different TA terminology and tools and tricks and definitions in later videos, but support and resistance are key. So what do we do? Let's find some tops. So so here's a local top right here. So I'm going to do Option H. Immediately you get a horizontal bar. Here's a bottom right here. So that's giving us a zone. Now that's also sort of in line with this area right here. So then we have this sort of, you can see this massive, look at this, even where price action is right now. Look at that. Price action is fighting right with the underside of all these bottoms. So let's go ahead and put an H right there. That's Option H for the horizontal lines. It automatically happens. You don't have to press it over here. Now, if you're trying to mark something vertically, you can do the same thing, Option V. So we don't use this one as much. It's more better when you're talking about longer cycles and stuff, but Option V does that. Now, if you want to edit this line, double click on the line. You can double click on any TA marking. You come in here, you can make it much more bold, make it much more thick, make it much more thin. You can come here. Right next to the line, you can do dash line, dotted line, whatever. Now, one of the things I like to do is keep different colors for support and resistance, and you can find that out. You can set that however you want. Now, some of the other things we can do, other things that are very important to TA is not just support and resistance, but also diagonal trend lines, which these are basically horizontal trend lines. But in terms of a move right here, just with my chart vision, looking at this, I can see that there is a bit of a trend line right here. So what I can do is I can press Option T, select right there, and then I immediately have a line that I can create a trend line with. Similarly, let me zoom out. I'm already zoomed out as far as I can. I'm going to shrink this. Now, let's see. We have another trend line right here. So I'm going to keep my mouse here. I'm going to press Option T. Click the screen, then I have my trend line right there. Amazing, amazing tool. Now, another very wonderful thing to do, if you don't want to have horizontal lines going through your entire chart, and I love this trick, I'm just going to delete these horizontal lines, is you can come to these different points and see what different regions line up by pressing Option and then pressing J. And then immediately, wherever your mouse is, you get basically a horizontal ray from that point to the side. So if you are zooming out, for instance, if I go on let me go to auto, what happened to my chart? There we are. So rather than having like this, if I do Option H, that's a horizontal trend line all the way across. Option J just does these trend lines specifically, let's say just from this point, J, just from this point, J, just from this point, J. And now Option J, of course. And you get, it's a very easy way to get those lines drawn on the chart. Now, one of the most useful tools you will learn when doing trading and picking your entries and exits and bounces and where to sell and where all these sorts of things is a monster, amazing tool that's rooted in everything in nature, and that is the Fibonacci. Looking at Fibonacci retracement. So you can come over here on the left toolbar and you can see, if you're not seeing yours the same way, you can see this little arrow to the right. Click that arrow and you have all these different options What do you do with the tools you want to use? You put the star, okay? And it creates a toolbar. I have mine off the screen right now, but it creates a movable toolbar that you have access to. But it also puts it, if you only do one, it puts it in this bar right here. Now, Fibonacci, where is it at? Well, you can just select it here. And now what happens is when you select this and pull this all the way down, then you're getting this Fibonacci retracement. And you see right here, look at that, price moved right into it. So rather than having to go back and forth, this will be the last quick key of the day, I think. We can expand on this in future videos, but the quick key for this is Option. Option is always the quick key button, whether it's double clicking, whether it is Option J for these horizontal rays, whether it's Option T for these trend lines. But for the Fibonacci, very easy, Option F, select and pull. Right here, Option F, select and pull. And it's an easy, immediate way to get the Fibonacci's on your screen. And same thing, if you want to do a regression coming up here, you can have your mouse down here, Option F, select and pull. And now what happens as price pushed up? Look at that, bounce right in this golden pocket. And we go over all of this in detail in the BitLab Academy through the whole technical analysis trading and technical analysis courses. But with that being said, I am going to have to wrap off now because we got BitBoy stream starting here in a moment. I really, really hope that that you learned something today. There's so much I wanted to cram into this. If any of it was a sticking point, go back, watch over it. Just remember, Option, double click, Option T, Option J, Option H, Option F. All of those are the key sort of functions. If you do want to find anything else on that, I will say I did forget to mention, you can come up here to the top left area here, and then you can go to keyboard shortcuts, and that will pull up a bunch of different quick keys that you can use and you can experiment with on your own time to best suit your trading strategy. Again, that was just a screen from yesterday. Again, these lessons are meant to really walk you through back from the beginning all the way back to reformulate your foundation, to make sure you have all the understanding of what the tools, tips, tricks, and the functionality of everything, so you can navigate the space, so you can navigate consistently and confidently, and so you can be profitable. Without any further ado, again, my name is Kelly Kellum. You can find me at Kelly Kellum. Go check out BitLab Academy and all the socials, which you can see on the bottom of this screen. Make sure, please, to like and subscribe to this page and check it make sure that you ting the little bell. Get back here. We will be back tomorrow with some more great stuff. And without any further ado, I said that already 4 times. I'm going to cut that out of my language here. Thank you for following us here at BitLab Academy. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now let's all go check out the BitBoy Crypto Show, and let's see what's going on with the news for the day. Big love, over and out. I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody. Man, that was a good time. Yes, it was. Hit that subscribe button, like, and ting the bell. Adios, muchachos.